Fresh off a 5-game road stretch, the Port Huron Prowlers welcome in an interdivision foe for the first time this season. It's the Binghamton Black Bears. Good evening, everyone. My name is Will Wiggleman, here with you at McMorran Place. Prowlers are back home for the first time this month. They've spent the last 3 weeks on the road, 1 at Motor City, 2 in Mississippi, and 2 in Columbus, Georgia. Finally, back here at McMorran Place. And for the Binghamton Black Bears, they're playing a 3 games in 4-night stretch beginning on Wednesday when they lost to the Danbury Hat Tricks 5-2 at home. They're playing tonight and tomorrow at McMorran Place. All that and more coming up on the pregame show. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Here at McMorran Place, Will Wiggleman with you tonight as the Prowlers and the Binghamton Black Bears get set to do battle for the first time this season. We'll take a look at the Prowlers first. Their last time out, they faced a 5-3 loss at Columbus. It went down 4-0 in the second period of that game. It was the second straight game that Columbus opened up a large lead. Prowlers went down 5-0 in the first game of that series, lost it 5-2, but that second game went down 4-0 in the second, but battled back, made it a 4-3 game early in the third, and then Tucker Scantleberry hit the crossbar at a potential game-tying goal, so the Prowlers fall just short. The River Dragons hit the empty netter to make it a 2-goal final. Adam Hainsel did score his first career FPHL goal in that game. Czech defenseman playing in his 12th game that night. Gets his first in North America. And Danik Rodrigue, 34 saves on 38 shots. He is not dressed tonight. For Binghamton, they sit at 8-3-2 with 25 points, second in the Empire Division. The team they lost to, the Danbury Hat Tricks, are first in that division with 28 points. It was a 5-2 defeat that was at Visions Veterans Memorial Arena in Binghamton. Nikita Ivashkin had an assist but saw his 7-game goal streak snapped. He still leads the FPHL in goals with 12 this season. Riley McVeigh, 33 saves on 38 shots in the loss, while Tyler Jurich and Austin Thompson scored a goal apiece for the Binghamton Black Bears. Well, the Prowlers will have a new face in the lineup here tonight. It's Sam Williams, someone who they did sign over the summer. He's just joining the team now. Last season, he spent it in the SPHL, 37 games, 55 penalty minutes, and 5 points. He'll be on defense here tonight. He also spent a few years in the FPHL, 2018 to 2020, played with 3 teams, Watertown, Danbury, and the Elmira Enforcers. So that's the new face in the lineup tonight. Let's take a look at the entire starting lineup tonight for the Prowlers. They have Vinny DeCumbis, Sam Merritt, and Joe Devaney is sliding in on right wing on that line, so no more Devaney, Foley, Vartiainen line. Joe Devaney moving up to that line. Tucker Scantleberry takes his place with Foley and Vartiainen. That's your starting forward group tonight. And then Liam Freeboard, who made his FPHL debut last weekend in Columbus, is on a line with Matt Graham and Dalton Jay. Jay just sitting just 2 goals away from 200 in his FPHL career. Meanwhile, Matt Graham played in game number 300 of his FPHL career Friday night in Columbus. On the defensive side, Alex Johnson and Austin Federley are your top pairing, but the starting pair is Adam Hainsel and Dustin Henning. And then Brian Parsons and Sam Williams, the third pairing for the Prowlers. No Gino Mini, no Frank Schumacher for them tonight. In goal tonight for the Prowlers will be Wyatt Hofflin, with Ian Wallace, the backup goalie this evening. So the Prowlers coming into this one looking to get back in the win column. Lost both in Columbus, so they're on a 2-game skid, while the Black Bears had their 7-game point streak snapped with that loss on Wednesday. So two teams looking for a big victory here tonight in Port Huron. Pre-game festivities just about to get started here at McMorran Place, when we'll be right back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people. They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Back here in Port Huron, Prowlers and Black Bears just minutes away from taking the ice for tonight's game, as both teams in maybe not desperate need for a win, but the Prowlers would like to stay above 500, while the Black Bears want to get back in the win column and try and keep pace with the Danbury hat-tricks atop that Empire division. Take a look at the Black Bears lines tonight. Tyler Jurich is on the left wing with Tyson Kirkby and Gino D'Angelo. Jurich is the only Black Bear to play in all 13 games this season, and he has a point in every single one. The second line will be Parker, Thompson, and Ivashkin. Again, Ivashkin, the leading goal scorer in the FPHL. And the third line will be Gavin Abbott, Mac Lewis, and Jamie Bissell. The extra forward is Jake Schultz. The defensemen tonight will be Corey Sherman along with Matthew Buislard, and then Cam Yarwood and MJ Merkel, the second pairing. And the third pairing tonight for the Black Bears, Colin Fitzgerald along with Yuri Hada. The starting netminder for the Black Bears will be Joseph Shepard. Riley McVeigh will back him up. So referees getting set to take the ice here in Port Huron. 2.5 minutes up on the clock until puck drop between the Prowlers and the Black Bears. Got a big game tonight in the FPHL. One of 4 games tonight in the league. Last night there was one game on Thanksgiving. Mississippi and Columbus battled out in Biloxi, with the River Dragons coming away with a 9-5 win. We'll take you down to ice level for the pregame ceremonies. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Serenity. The Prowlers Spirit are coached by Amanda, and the CL Spirit Director is Christine. Prowler Town, are you ready? And now, to introduce tonight's starting lineup presented by Orthopedic Associates. At forward, number 17, Tucker Scantleberry. Also at forward, number 85, Larry Martinez. Also at forward, number 94, Evan Foley. On defense, number 74, Adam Heinzel. Also on defense, number 84, Dustin Hanning. In goal this evening for your Prowlers, number 72, Wyatt Hoffman. And let's welcome to the ice the rest of your Port Huron Prowlers. The Prowlers are coached by head coach and general manager Ben Graham, assistant coach and assistant general manager Alex Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats. As we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem, sponsored by Directly by Mike Batchelor, we remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Port Huron's own Dynasty Band. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red there, the bombs bursting in air, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Port Huron's own Dynasty Band with the national anthem tonight as the Prowlers debut their black home jerseys. We're a bit into the season, but finally the Prowlers able to wear these black home jerseys for the first time. Brand new design. They have gold numbers on the back for the very first time in franchise history. That gold inspired by the Prowlers' eyes in the logo. Let's take a look at the goaltending matchup tonight. It's Joseph Shepard and Wyatt Hoflin. For Shepard coming in at 2-0 with a 176 goals against average and a 947 save percentage. Out of Bethel University, his 922 save percentage his senior year is a program record. Wyatt Hoflin knows a thing or two about holding records. He holds a number for the Kootenai Ice, now Winnipeg Ice in the WHL, including their franchise record for career saves, 4,505. He comes into this one 2-1 with a 268 goals against average and a 909 save percentage. Team's about set at center ice for this one. Hoflin looking for a little bit better of a result than he had his last game. Friday night in Columbus, he was pulled after allowing 5 goals in that first period. And we'll see what he can do tonight as we're underway. And the Black Bears get the first chance. It's Fitzgerald. Pulls up, drops for Vashkin. Vashkin to the front, tried to jam play, and Hoflin had the pad there on the post. Hansel off the glass and back out to center. Cam Yarwood almost turned it over at center. Instead, here's Thompson in. Drops for Vashkin. His shot blocked by Foley. Prowlers have a 2-on-1 developing. Here's Scantleberry. Has Vartiainen going to net. Scantleberry's shot is stopped by Shepard. Merritt, fresh off the bench, able to keep it in. Tried to go to the backhand. That was stymied by Fitzgerald. Up to Vashkin, the Russian native. He sends it in on Hoflin, who will drop and leave for Merritt as both teams complete their first changes of the game. Stolen at the line by Bussell. Put it in front, and the backhand chance didn't work for Kirkby. Didn't get all of it. We're a minute into the first period. No score yet. Jurich comes out in front. And a good save by Hoflin. Tyler Jurich, the 4-time FPHL Forward of the Year. Off to a good start this year as well. Wrist shot comes in, it's deflected wide. Jurich's team high 17 points in 13 games. Into the slot, backhander save, rebound, try to put it on. And Hoflin able to keep that one out. That was Jurich at the side of the net, trying to poke home that rebound. Finally, Prowlers able to send it back to Binghamton Ice. It's collected there by Boislard, the Quebec native, and deflected in by Bussell. Sam Williams making his Prowlers debut, sent it up towards Freeborn, and now Graham gets into Binghamton Ice. 3-a-side scrum on the half wall, comes to the point Williams. Wraps it down deep. Parsons there to get it. Graham in the corner. Pushed up against the wall by Yuri Hada. Now Hada sends one high this way. Williams first on it. Sent it to center, but it was cut off by Mac Lewis. 4 points point in 4 of his last 6 games. That one comes in front. Graham couldn't reach it. Freeborn. Now Graham drops it back to Parsons. 17:21 to go in the first period. Parsons almost turned it over to Vashkin. Able to get it out of the zone. Lewis brought it right back in, but a nice toe drag there by Brian Parsons. 3-on-3 rush into the zone. Sent on net out of Foley's reach. Scantleberry trying to chop at it at center. Takes it away from Vashkin. Now Foley has some space. Yarwood came back to defend him. Now turned over to Jay in the slot. Takes the shot. That one blocked. Vashkin recovers in the corner. Parker 1-on-2. And he sends it deep. Takes a hit from Adam Hansel. Vashkin worked over by Henning. Puts it down deeper to Thompson. D-to-D, here's Yarwood. Backhand towards Parker. Now Vashkin tried to feed it in front. Foley got a piece of that one. Yarwood from a knee, stands back up, takes the shot, and that went off of Hansel. Black Bears with a lot of pressure early, leading on shots 2-1. Vashkin had his stick taken out of his hands, no call. As the puck at center, and Scantleberry pokes it into the zone before getting off for a change. We're 4 minutes into the first period, no score yet between the Black Bears and the Prowlers. Jurich gets it to the middle. Kirkby's rising shot too high over top of the net. Jurich below the goal line, challenged by Johnson. And that puck poked out of play. Alex Johnson back in the lineup for the Prowlers. He took a hard hit in the Prowlers' last game in Columbus that resulted in Michael Greco getting kicked out of that game. He initially had a 2-game suspension, but that suspension was rescinded. So he played yesterday for the River Dragons in Mississippi and even scored a goal. But Alex Johnson back on the ice for the Prowlers as Kirkby's shot turned aside by Hofflin. And now Federley off the board, softly out of the zone, put right back in by the Black Bears. Federley to start the breakout. Up towards DeCumbus. He gets it around his man Bouchard. Jake Schultz first on it. Comes all the way near side, off the wall, too far for Jurich. Now Johnson up to Merritt, takes a look, and takes the skating room. Dumped in, Sam Merritt first shot, tried to force it in front. DeCumbus was crashing, but the puck didn't get all the way there. Federley at center. Dumps it around as he takes a hit. Jay in the circle, takes the shot, and a glove save by Shepard, and he'll hold on with 14:52 to go in the first period. Well, let's take a look at a couple of checks in the lineup tonight for the Prowlers and the Black Bears. Yuri Hada signed on November 18th for Binghamton. 2 games so far under his belt this season. He did play with Watertown in 2016-17, 14 games for the Wolves that year. He has no points yet in just 2 games with Binghamton so far this season. And Adam Hainzel, of course, we scored his first goal in the FPHL in the Prowlers' last game last Saturday in Columbus. 3 points for him so far in 12 games on the year. The face-off coming to Joseph Shepard's right, deep in Black Bear territory, not somewhere the puck has been all that often so far, as Binghamton has had a lot of good cycling going on in the Prowlers' end. As Port Huron fed in front by Freeborn. Port Huron looking to get some pressure of its own. Williams dancing past Merkel down the boards. MJ Merkel holding him up. Been suspended twice already this season, has MJ Merkel. 3 total games between those 2 suspensions. Cam Yarwood, another one on this Binghamton team who's faced a suspension from the league. As Jay picks Hodge's pocket, gets to the center towards Freeborn, and now back low, down low, save, rebound, and that one wouldn't go. As looks like the net may have come off just a little bit, but the Prowlers had a couple of whacks at it. First one from Dalton Jay, and then Matt Graham with the follow-up opportunity. Joseph Shepard able to keep both out as they fix the net deep in Binghamton territory. So that looks like the best chance of the game so far for either side. Shots 3 apiece with 4:11 to go in the first period. Merkel sends it up in Abbott's direction. Couldn't get it deep. Foley gloves it down. He'll lift it in, take a big hit from Merkel. And it's backhanded off the glass, back to Prowler ice. Hainzel is Abbott on him. Takes the hit, but Foley moves the puck to the far side. Henning trying to poke it past a pinching Schultz. Now Dustin Henning with control in his own corner. Henning able to get it out of the zone. And it's put right back in by Binghamton. Vartiainen tips it out. 13:22 to go in the period. Thompson brings it right back in, takes the shot, blockered aside by Hofflin. To the point, Schultz will put it back down in Thompson's direction. Now Schultz on net. Hofflin down to make that save. Schultz again. This time trying to come out in front himself. Is taken off his stick, puck comes back to the slot. And Vartiainen softly lifts it down. It's going to go on net, so no icing. Black Bears turning up the other way. It's Yarwood with speed into the Prowler zone. Thought about a toe drag, but the puck rolled on him. And it comes to this side, to Cumbus. Now here's Ivashkin in front, and Hofflin got the pad down to make the save. He'll cover up, and there's a penalty coming up against somebody. A high sticking call, and it looks like the guilty party will be Cam Yarwood, excuse me. So an offensive zone penalty for the Black Bears, not one you want to take, and it will put the Prowlers on their first power play of the game. 6th ranked power play in the FPHL at an even 20%. Although the 13 power play goals is 2nd in the league. Black Bears PK 7th in the FPHL at 78.3%. And we start with the Black Bears clear. We hit 12.5 minutes to go in the first period. Prowlers on a power play, looking to break the deadlock at none. Graham into the zone. Drops for Jay. Right back to Matt Graham. Has Merritt in the slot. Now Merritt goes down to support the puck. And it pops to the middle as Shepard able to cover up. 23 seconds into the man advantage for the Prowlers. It's Graham, Merritt, Jay, Johnson, and Freeborn. Liam Freeborn, game number 3, and already a fixture on the power play. He did see power play time in his first 2 games with Port Huron down in Columbus last weekend. Johnson flips it deep off the backboards, rim this side, and through Freeborn all the way down. Binghamton changing up the defense. It's Bussell and Lewis the forwards on this PK. Merkel and Schultz the defenders. Here's Graham into the zone. Drops to Johnson. Quick shot. Bussell got a stick on it. Now comes to Graham. To Johnson. One-timer and a save by Shepard. And he'll hold on. 11:42 to go in the first period and 1:03 left on the Prowlers power play. Gavin Abbott comes out to replace Bussell on the Binghamton PK, and the Prowlers do a full unit change on the power play. Devaney, Foley, Scantleberry up front, Federley and Vartiainen on the blue line for this power play unit. Devaney feeds back to Federley off the draw, walks the line, now back to Joe Devaney in the circle. Foley down low. Now Devaney walks, shoots. That was blocked by Lewis. To the point Federley, and he couldn't handle that pass. Puck comes out to center. Austin Federley makes a move, and the Prowlers are off sides with 39 seconds to go on their man advantage and 11:18 left in the first period. Well, the Black Bears are the team in the FPHL with the most shorthanded goals. They have 5 already this season. And they've already also given up the most shorthanded goals, tied for the most with 4 shorthanded goals against, tied with Danbury. Scantleberry into the zone, working around behind Shepard. Now he'll feed to the point Vartiainen. All the way down deep to Foley, 15 seconds left on the power play. Devaney, up top Federley, back down to Joe Devaney. Foley, put it on, saved by Shepard, and Foley dumped by Merkel as Shepard covers up with 5 seconds left on the man advantage. 10:44 to go in period 1. So the Prowlers will just send out their next line with only 5 seconds left on the power play. Williams and Parsons, the D pair, and Dan Chartrand taking a shift, taking Joe Devaney's spot here on the line with Tecumseh and Merritt. Back to 5-on-5. Yarwood looking for the home run pass. He gets it, but off his stick and in. And Cam Yarwood will make a change as Williams able to get it through an oncoming Black Bear. That was Kirkby who almost picked off that headman feed. Now it's worked this side to Fitzgerald. Gets the red, gets it deep, and gets it himself. Fitzgerald sent it in front. He took a big hit in the corner as he did so. Unfortunately for him, no Black Bears in the area of that puck. Here's Chartrand in, shot save by Shepard. Merritt put it back on, deflected, and Shepard got the blocker on it. Prowlers just sending that puck on goal. Joseph Shepard up to the challenge. Kirkby taken on by a pinching Williams. Puck comes to this side, and Black Bears trying to get it deep to regroup, but instead it's the Prowlers with it. Freeborn curls away from pressure behind the net, sent it in front towards the Cumbus. That was deflected. Wrist shot by Parsons was blocked. And now here come the Black Bears the other way. Kirkby had to get around the official. Puck bouncing in front of the Prowlers net, and Hofflin able to make a save on the in-type opportunity from Jurich. But that 2-on-1 opportunity for Binghamton was a lot more difficult than Kirkby may have wanted, as he had to dance through an official on the way through. We're scoreless, 9:26 to go in period one. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey. Well, we should be going to a TV timeout. There we go, now we figured it out. 9:26 to go in the first period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
9:26 to go in period one here at McMorran Place. Will Wiggleman with you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Thanks so much for tuning in for some post-Thanksgiving hockey action. We hope you all had a great American Thanksgiving yesterday. And if you're just sitting there with your leftovers enjoying tonight's game, we welcome you. 7-6 the shots so far in favor of the Prowlers, wearing their brand new black home uniforms for the very first time this season. Freeborn off of Graham's stick, goes all the way down, icing waved off. Merkel collects on the near side. Forced back all the way down. No icing as the puck won't get to the goal line. Parker and Henning came together, and then Henning knocked down Ivashkin. I think Ivashkin was the one looking for the hit, and Henning just got him with the reverse. Matt Graham starts behind his own net. Up to Jay, tried to flip pass back. That was taken away by Ivashkin. Thompson dropped to the point. Merkel on net. Saved by Hofflin. And now Parker behind the cage. Sent it in front. Graham deflected it over top of the cage. Merkel on net, deflected by Ivashkin, but wide. Nikita Ivashkin first on it. Wraps it in front. Hofflin had to stretch to make that save. And the whistles blow. And maybe the net came off again, as that puck was still loose in front of the Prowlers net. As Ivashkin looked for the wraparound. Typically when you see the wraparound, guys are looking for that near side post. Instead, he went to the far. Wyatt Hofflin able to get the right pad down, stretched across to keep Nikita Ivashkin from his league leading 13th of the season. Yarwood walks in, shot off the shoulder of Hofflin and out of play with 8:20 to go in the first period. Prowlers will make a full change for the second straight defensive zone face-off. Foley line coming out. He'll draw with, it looks like, Corey Sherman. Foley takes that one, and Federley up the boards towards Scantleberry. He sent it too far for Foley, and that one an icing against the Prowlers, and we'll bring it all the way back into Port Huron territory again. 8:09 to go in the first period. Shots now 9-7 for Binghamton. They have the last three. Lewis this time to draw with Foley. He had D'Angelo right behind him, but couldn't win it cleanly, and the Prowlers almost able to get it out. Sits at the line. D'Angelo puts it deep. Hofflin in Federley's direction. He goes off the boards. Scantleberry takes it. His pass hit a skate, and Vartiainen deflects it in from Johnson. Yarwood to Lewis. Comes out of the Black Bears zone. Johnson puts it right back in. And now Fitzgerald moves up ice. Comes to the near side to Yarwood. He'll get it in. 7.5 to go in the first period. Sherman all by himself as his team making a full change. Broussard got a piece of that one, so icing waved off, and now it's the Prowlers' turn to get everyone off. All the way up to Kirkby, knocked away by Parsons. And here comes Devaney into the zone. Quick shot, save, rebound, and Merritt was stopped by Shepard on the second chance. Broussard sends it through everyone all the way down to Prowlers territory. Icing is called with 6:56 to go in the opening frame. Both teams with their fair share of good scoring chances so far in this one, but good goaltending on both sides early in this game, keep us scoreless. Face off one to the boards. Tecumseh puts it deep towards Devaney, hopped over his stick. Kirkby and Merritt get there together. And now Devaney down low, put it in front. That puck was too hot to handle for Tecumseh. Now Williams. Devaney trying to poke it away from Broussard. Instead it comes up to Jurich. Soft backhand into the zone. Parsons takes Kirkby in. Now Williams up to Tecumseh, has Devaney on the far wing, gets it to him. Now Devaney for the wraparound, Graham in front, and he couldn't get it in. Trying to fix the camera here, and there we go. Meanwhile, Kirkby in, and he's offsides, takes a hit from Parsons. And now Jurich comes over to have a word with Brian Parsons, and everybody separated with 6:03 to go in the first period. What you missed there during our little camera issue is Joe Devaney tried to wrap around and fed the puck in front. Graham found it in the slot, put a quick one on, but Shepard got a piece of it with the shoulder. So nothing doing there for the Prowlers. Hajda wraps it around. Comes back to Prowler territory. Here's Henning. Up the boards. Hajda has it again. This time he'll flip it high and deep. Off the glass behind the net. Comes out to Parker. He tried to feed it deep to Ivashkin. Double teamed by Prowlers. And Hainsel took it from him. Here is Adam Hainsel. Kicking it up to his stick. Dropping it off to Freeborn. Prowlers offside at the line. Although Graham doesn't agree. I thought the Prowlers looked onside. Maybe the linesman saw the puck come out when Hainsel dropped it. But either way, 5:32 to go in the first period and a neutral zone draw. Hainsel off the boards towards Scantleberry. Ivashkin got a touch on it, and the whistles blow. Maybe that puck got caught up in the open door by the Prowlers bench. They're setting up in Prowler territory, so that may be the case. To Hofflin's left is the faceoff. Tied up, and Foley able to push it back on the second effort. Ivashkin coming out from behind the net, looked for the backdoor pass, and Thompson couldn't put that one home. Ivashkin out in front, big save by Hofflin. Now Thompson keeps it in, takes the shot, and Hainsel down to block it. Parker taken off his stick by Foley, but Brett Parker has it back. Thompson, one-time shot, didn't get all of it. Hofflin made the save, Thompson slow to his feet. Meanwhile, shot in was also blocked by a Prowler. A little bit of chaos in the port here on end, and Hofflin finds the puck in the blue paint, and he'll cover up. So the Prowlers and the Black Bears tied at none, 4:41 to go in the first period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here in Port Huron, 4:41 to go in the first period, and the best chance of the game just out of Austin Thompson's reach as Nikita Ivashkin almost found him back door. And that seems like the only way to beat these goaltenders so far. They've both been sharp, but Austin Thompson looking for goals in back-to-back games after snapping his 4-game goal drought on Wednesday against Danbury. Johnson behind the net. Off the boards and out. Cut off there by the Black Bears. Lewis kicked it up to his stick. Drops to the point. And D'Angelo gets it deep. Hofflin out of his net to play it aggressively. Comes right to Abbott. Now Abbott at the line. He'll cycle it down low. D'Angelo hands off to Lewis. To the point, Fitzgerald. Now Abbott shot off the back boards. Hofflin poked it to the side. And that rising shot into Hofflin's glove. He'll hold on with 4:08 to go in the first period. All Black Bears for that shift, and Matt Graham is going to call his own number and change the forward line. He'll draw with Kirkby. Graham wins it back. Johnson off the glass. Freeborn gets it up to Graham. He gets it out. Fitzgerald looking to put it right back in. It's Bussell looking for Fitzgerald with the area pass. Now back low again for Bussell. To a side scrum. It's kicked in Fitzgerald's direction. Now Graham took it off his stick behind the net. Kirkby meets with Federley on the wall. Johnson had his stick taken away by the Zamboni door, so he has no stick. And now he'll pick it back up. Meanwhile, puck at the point comes over to Yarwood. Tried the one-touch pass into the slot, but that didn't work. 2-on-3 rush the other way. Freeborn trying to find Jay. He's muscled off by Yarwood, knocked down. Fans want a penalty, not coming. Here's Freeborn, a shot, save, rebound. Went past Graham. Williams put it back on. That hit Graham's foot and flies out of play with 3:07 to go in the first. Dalton Jay and the fans alike not happy with the no call there against Cam Yarwood. We took him down as he was heading towards the net. Freeborn tried to get him the puck, but unable to connect there thanks to that defense. Foley set to draw in the offensive zone against Thompson. He wins it back. Vartiani tried a quick shot, but that puck was rolling, so he couldn't get it off cleanly. Here come the Black Bears. Thompson on the right wing side. Popped through his stick. Ivashkin takes that cycle. And now Williams. Backhands towards Scantlebury. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Now Foley lost it off his stick quickly and able to put it on from a tight angle. Shepard made the save. Heard Tucker Scantlebury take a big hit along the wall there after he dropped that puck off. 2:43 to go in the first period. Prowlers with an offensive zone chance, up on shots 11-10, but still no score. Tied up, and it comes back to center. Haynes will play it into Black Bear territory again. Here's Schultz. Now Parker pushing it further. Hainsel and Ivashkin get there together. Ivashkin drop pass to Thompson. The return feed, and Hainsel had Ivashkin tied up. That puck bouncing the whole way. Thompson to the point. The one-time shot hit Vartiainen. That came off of the stick of Buislard. Wraparound in front. And Ovashkin couldn't get that one on goal as it went right through this crease. Foley knocked down behind the net. Ovashkin trying to put it in front. It's worked this side to Scantlebury. Under 2 to play in the first as Tucker Scantlebury starts up ice. Scantlebury shot into Shepard's glove and he'll hold on. Scantlebury and Puislard having a bit of a shoving match in that corner as they were slowing down. Nothing further coming from it. With 1:50 to go in the first period and an offensive zone faceoff for the Prowlers. An eventful first period despite no score. Both goaltenders have been challenged. Comes up to Federley. He'll rim it down deep to DeCumbus. Back behind the net, Merritt. Backhand towards Devaney, too high. And here come the Black Bears, but instead it's turned over to Devaney at center. He gives it right back to Haja. Haja in, save, rebound. That was a juicy one, but no Black Bears could put that one back on net. Lewis around the net, to the point Merkel. His shot hit Devaney's stick. Now Devaney takes the pass from DeCumbus. He's up with Federley. Devaney in, takes the shot. It's blocked by Merkel. Black Bears looking to come the other way. Here's Sherman. In deep, and he takes a hit from Johnson for his effort. Merritt got it through Bussell, and out of the zone, and turned over. Here's Devaney, shot save, rebound! And Shepard able to poke it away from Joe Devaney. And almost a costly turnover there from Cam Yarwood. 40 seconds to go in the first period as it's rimmed around towards Jurich. He tried to get it deeper. And now Kirkby. Feed in front to Jurich, didn't get all the way there. Jay has Parsons and Freeborn with him. Here's Liam Freeborn. Curls away, looks for a different play. Now Williams at the point, couldn't get it through. Bussell blocked it. Jurich racing after it. Williams pokes it away from him, or else Tyler Jurich would have had a breakaway. But it looked like a tired end of the shift. Tyler Jurich as the Prowlers ice this puck with exactly 4 seconds left on the clock. Shepard thought about coming to the bench for the extra attacker with just 4 seconds up there for the first period, but instead the Black Bears will keep it 5-on-5 for this faceoff. One back to Jurich, but taken away from him, and Jalton Jay won't have enough time to get a good shot off, so we'll end the first period as we started it. No score between the Port Huron Prowlers and the Binghamton Black Bears. Shots on goal in that first period, 13 for Port Huron, 11 for the Black Bears, but neither side able to solve the goaltenders, and we head to the locker rooms scoreless after 1 period of play. It was a good one, high energy, high pace, lots of good scoring chances, but the goaltenders just better in that one. So the Prowlers and the Black Bears head off for the first intermission. We have 18 minutes up on the clock. Get your holiday shopping started early at the Prowlers official team store located on the west end of McMorran Arena. The store is open every home game all season long, featuring t-shirts, sweatshirts, koozies, socks, and more. Youth hoodies and mini sticks are back in stock. Rep your team in style with gear from the Prowlers team store. First intermission underway here at McMorran. No score between the Prowlers and Black Bears. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
from 10 seconds left. Let's give it up for the Port Huron Minor Hockey Association, youth stars of the future. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hear it.
Let's give it up for Port Huron Minor Hockey Association AU Division.
Port Huron Prowlers Minor Hockey Association 8U squad taking the ice here between periods at McMorran Place, just over 10 minutes away from second period puck drop. Will Wiggleman with you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube page. Before we take a look back at that second period, let's look around the FPHL. Every team in action, all 10 tonight. And on the day after Thanksgiving, we start in Delaware, where the Thunder and the Rockers are tied at 1 midway through the first. The Thunder fell 8-2 to Elmira in their last game. That was the Mammoths' first win as a franchise. Let's take a look at the Mammoth. Their early stages in the first period, hosting Danbury. No score yet in that one. And then in Watertown, again, still early stages, first period. And the Wolves and the Carolina Thunderbirds are battling it out. Watertown with a 1-0 lead. And then finally, Mississippi Coast Coliseum, that one coming up in just about 15-20 minutes. Seawolves and the River Dragons will do battle again. Columbus won that game last night 9-5 in Biloxi. Another barn burner in Biloxi. We seem to have a lot of those when the Seawolves are playing. And of course here, no score yet between the Port Huron Prowlers and the Binghamton Black Bears. Shots on goal from that first period, 13-11 in favor of the Prowlers. They also had the only power play of the period, but failed to score. Cam Yarwood, the only one on the penalty sheet so far, a 2-minute high sticking minor in that first period. Wyatt Hoffland and Joseph Shepard, both very sharp in that opening frame, keeping their teams at an even 0-0. So we'll head into period 2 in just about 8 minutes or so from now, here from McMorran Place. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Teams returning to the ice for second period action from McMorran Place. Will Wiggleman here with you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube page. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday night. Well, the Prowlers and the Black Bears played a very spirited opening period. Lots of good scoring chances on both ends, but Joseph Shepard and Wyatt Hufflin made all the saves they had to make and kept this one scoreless through 20 minutes. Shots, if you need a reminder, 13 for Port Huron, 11 for Binghamton. Teams getting set for second period action. Prowlers now moving left to right, Black Bears right to left. And if you're just joining us and wondering what the Prowlers are wearing, it's their home uniforms, their new black home uniforms, finally able to debut them this weekend. Fitzgerald had it deflected off of Ivashkin, but he was on the wrong side of the red line, so a quick icing against the Binghamton Black Bears just 21 seconds in. Foley line looking for an offensive zone chance. Of course, usually it's Joe Devaney on that wing with Foley and Vartiainen. Devaney on a different line tonight. Tucker Scantleberry sliding in there for Matt Graham's club. Thompson pushes it out to center, but Foley back checks and takes the puck away. Here's Henning. Looking up towards Vartiainen, that hopped over his stick. Thompson over to Parker, takes the shot, and Hainsel got a stick on it. It goes into the netting, out of play, just 40 seconds into period 2. First offensive zone draw for the Black Bears this period. The Prowlers change up the forwards, and Merritt wins the draw from Thompson. Yarwood controls the bouncing puck at center. Backhands it deeper towards the direction he wants to go, but comes back to him. Thompson off the boards, ahead of Ivashkin. Prowlers turn it the other way. Here's Devaney into the zone, working on Yarwood. Tried to force it in to Cumbus's direction. Thompson swooped in to intercept. To Cumbus at center. Curls back, gives to Merritt. Fitzgerald took it away from him. And play is whistled down. Possibly a hand pass or played with a high stick, as nobody heading to the penalty box. Graham lined out for the Prowlers. He'll face off with Bussell. And Matt Graham wins it back to Federley. Curls to the boards. Now here's Freeborn. Federley had that hop away from him. Couldn't get it deep. Kirkby headman feed. Bussell got a weak backhander on. Hofflin made the save. Kept in by Bouchard. And his shot stopped by Hofflin. Graham up towards Jay, too far ahead of him, but Dalton Jay keeps the icing from being called, getting there first. Comes to Kirkby. He lifts it high out to center. Johnson gloves it down at the red line. And now Williams. Graham bats it in. Jay touches up and is first on the puck. Dalton Jay in, and his first shot of the second period goes wide long. Comes in front, Freeborn. Thought about the turnaround shot. Had a Black Bear on him. Instead he gets to Foley, to the backhand in front. And Schultz stepped in front of Jay to take away that chance. Williams just kept that puck in at the blue line. The Black Bears have it off the glass and back out. All Prowlers to start this second period. Here's Scantleberry in. High shot shouldered away by Shepard. And Foley puts it to Parsons. He's back in on sides and dribbles one into Shepard's glove. He'll hold on with 17:14 to go in the second period. Both teams making changes ahead of this face-off in the Black Bears' end. It's back Lewis 5 points in his last 6 games. He loses the face-off to Foley. Prowlers able to keep it in. Scantleberry fed it only as far as Merkel. And now Hada, got it in only as far as Henning, and now Black Bears able to get it deeper. Here's D'Angelo. Tried to wrap it in front, comes all the way back to Hada at the point. D to D Merkel, his shot stopped by Hofflin. And now Henning up the boards. It's deflected by Vartiainen in Scantleberry's direction, but Merkel able to poke it back forward. Bouncing puck whacked by Foley out of play, and Evan Foley is going to head to the box for a delay of game penalty. So the Binghamton power play will head onto the ice for the first time tonight, sitting at 5th in the FPHL at 21.9%. Although they do have the most power play goals, tied with Motor City with 14, while the Prowlers at 81.4% are 5th in the FPHL on the PK. Yarwood drops to Jurich, comes right back to Jurich. Now down low, it's Bussell. Walks up higher towards the half boards, and now again below the goal line. Looked for the backdoor pass towards Yarwood, and Merritt clears. Shepard this side to Jurich. Tried to drop it off to Yarwood. Instead, Tyler Jurich will keep it. Now give to Kirkby all the way across to Lewis on the right wing side. Lewis curls away to Yarwood. Now over to Bussell. Up to Jurich. Back down to Bussell. It's taken in by Federley. Comes to the point. Jurich winds and fires. Save. Rebound. Yarwood. He scores. Cam Yarwood cashes in the juicy rebound. It's a power play goal, and Binghamton's on the board first. It's 1-0. Cam Yarwood's second goal of the season gets Binghamton in front, 4:15 into period 2, as that power play working for the Black Bears. Jurich's shot produced a nice rebound, and Yarwood sneaking in from the point. He snuck in from the point earlier on that man advantage. Bussell couldn't hit him with the backdoor feed, but that time Yarwood able to pot home his second of the year. So the Black Bears on the board first. The Prowlers playing from behind for the 4th straight game. Or 5th straight game, excuse me. Here's Jay looking for a response. Federley kicks at it, put it on net. That puck bouncing all over the Binghamton zone. Finally settled down by Buislard. And Buislard off the glass all the way down. Federley just got there, a step in front of Parker. So icing is called. Austin Federley had a hot start to this season, but he's been playing defense the past couple of games, and he's pointless in 3 of the last 4. And it looks like the referees are going to give a my bad on that icing. So the face-off coming to center with 15:13 to go in the second period. Here's Johnson up to Jay. He deflects it further, and it won't have enough gas for icing, so Schultz has to play it. Vashkin played it between his legs, turned it over to Graham. Down low towards Jay, and Shepard right there. That was Freeborn, excuse me, at the side of the net. Trying to put in his first career FPHL goal. Here's Vashkin, has a lot of FPHL goals, fed it in front. Puck loose there in the crease. Thompson had a whack at it, but he couldn't put it home. And now Freeborn trying to get it towards Johnson. He does. Federley up to center. Jay has it on Buislard, takes the shot, and Buislard got a foot on that. Here's Freeborn curling away from Parker. Parsons' shot too tall. Comes all the way to Williams at left point. Work down towards Schultz. Black Bears trying to poke it out. Prowlers able to keep it in. Scantleberry trying to dance towards the net. Shepard held the post. He and Buislard came together as Scantlebury is going to the net. Not the first time those two have battled so far in this game. Something to keep an eye on for sure. Vartiainen trying to get it in at the line. Instead comes back to Parsons. Scantlebury had to touch up, and Brian Parsons just dumps it deep. Parsons holds in at the line, walks in, shoots! And that one missed wide. Parsons down on the ice, may have caught a stick up high. And he's slow back to his defensive position. Meanwhile, the puck squirts out of that scrum. Here's Foley trying to center. Couldn't get it through a couple of Black Bear sticks. Parsons kept it in momentarily at the line. And Vartiainen made sure that puck stayed in the Black Bears zone. Instead, he turned it over to Hada. And now here comes Binghamton the other way. 7 minutes gone in the second period. Quick shot over top of the net. Comes all the way back out to center where Bussell is fresh off the bench. Parsons goes D to D to the far side. Hansel in by himself, has help coming from the bench. His shot goes blocked. And now Devaney takes the hop off the boards. Back to center, Henning. Wrist shot in, hops up on Shepard. He thought about passing it off, but instead he'll hold on with a Prowler upcoming, and we'll take a timeout. 12:34 to go in the second period. Prowlers trailing the Black Bears 1-0. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
.34 to go, second period in Port Huron. Black Bears leading the Port Huron Prowlers by a score of 1-0. Cam Yarwood, a power play goal, the only marker so far. The Prowlers get an offensive zone draw out of this timeout. It's one back to Fitzgerald. He'll look for a breakout pass, curl back, and give over to Cam Yarwood. All the way up to Kirkby at the red line. He steps in just on sides. I thought it might have been off. And now battle ensuing behind the net. Hansel and Bussell have each other wrapped up. A little face wash from Bussell. Linesman trying to separate them. And finally able to pull them apart. It was Bussell driving to the net. Hofflin had to make a save. That play was just onside, so close. But an offensive zone opportunity for Binghamton. And now with both Bussell and Hansel headed to the box, it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. Kirkby and Merritt set in the circle to Hofflin's right. Face off, won by Merritt. Williams curls behind his own net. Now away from Kirkby to Henning. Took the give and go pass back, but it was off his stick. Black Bears have numbers into the zone. Kirkby muscled off by Williams. They both go down to the ice, and Devaney takes the puck. Joe Devaney through center into the Binghamton end. Tried to feed over to the point, but Williams got off the ice. Johnson fresh off the bench. Dumps it back in. Henning hustling to keep it deep, but instead Fitzgerald got it out. Jurich stops up at the Prowlers line in front, and a big save by Hofflin on Fitzgerald, who got behind everybody going in deep. Freeborn up the other way, stymied by Fitzgerald there on the boards. He goes over to Yarwood on the right wing side. And Yarwood to the backhand. And Hofflin hugged the post. And we'll have another whistle for the net coming off its moorings with 59 seconds left in 4-on-4 and 11:17 to go in the second period. This is the third whistle we've had so far in this game relating to the net coming off its moorings. We're back set again. Prowlers seem to think that face-off should be out of the zone, but it may have been Hofflin that took the net off its pegs. Either way, puck dropped in Prowlers territory as they look for an exit. Comes up to Johnson, still searching for his first goal. He gives to Graham, back to Johnson. It comes across Jay, saved by Shepard. Boy, Shepard had to be quick as that puck came all the way across to a dangerous goal scorer in Dalton Jay. I mentioned Alex Johnson searching for his first goal of the season. His 25 shots on goal are the most by a player in the FPHL without a goal yet this season. Graham takes the loose puck in the corner, dropped to Johnson, but they weren't on the same page about it. Now Matt Graham starts up with speed again. 20 seconds left in 4-on-4. Comes to Federley. Had to reach out for that puck. Now Graham behind the net. Thought about the pass in front to Federley. He couldn't swing and get it, so Black Bears come the other way. Federley cuts off that centering feed. Goes back up ice, 2-on-1. Jay with Graham. Jay slows down, but the pass across to Graham deflected nicely by Buislard. Jay, the one-touch feed in front, hit a skate. Now Dalton Jay in the slot. And Buislard, or that was Parker, excuse me, who got down to block that one. Vartiainen and Schultz chase down the loose puck in the right wing corner. Moved up to Thompson. He goes off the boards in and out. Past the halfway point of the second period. We're back to 5-on-5. Here's Scantleberry into the zone. Tucker Scantleberry in, and a save by Shepard, but he drew a penalty. Black Bears touch up, and the Prowlers will head to their second power play of the game as Tucker Scantleberry, driving the net, draws a penalty. And we'll get the call for you when we return. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
They just announced over the PA system here at McMorran, Matt Graham playing in his 300th FPHL game. That was last Friday in Columbus, but the first time the McMorran faithful get a chance to applaud their head coach and GM. Jake Schultz, the one in the box for the Binghamton Black Bears. A 2-minute slashing minor is the call, so the Prowlers to their second power play, 0 for 1 so far tonight. Federley walks the line, gives to Vartiainen in the circle. Larry backed off to the wall. Down low, Foley. Larry gets it back. Foley again. Now work to the far side. Here's Devaney. Backdoor to Vartiainen. What a save by Shepard. Good passing by the Prowlers. That's exactly the play they wanted. And Joseph Shepard reached out the arm and got a piece of it. Devaney dancing through center. Prowlers in on sides. Nope, they are in offsides. So a minute 18 to go on the man advantage. 9:05 to go in the second period. Prowlers will change up the power play unit. Graham and Kirkby set to draw in the neutral zone. And it comes to Johnson off the faceoff. Alex Johnson chips it in deep, gets it himself. Curls away from Merkel. Now up to Jay at the top. Graham and Jay play catch on the sidewall. Here's Johnson, a wrist shot. That one didn't get all the way through, but rebound comes to Freeborn. Down to Graham. Pass comes all the way up top to Johnson. Wrist shot. That one comes off the lively backboards, but no Prowlers able to put it back on net. Instead, Binghamton clears. Hofflin played it quickly up to Freeborn, but puck hit Jay's skate. And now Johnson at the point. Wrist shot goes wide. Merritt tried to knock it down. And here come the Black Bears the other way. Thompson drops it back, the one-time shot. Kirkby didn't get all of it. And Merritt curls up with 20 seconds to go on the power play. Sam Merritt steps by one man. Reverse to the point. Hainsel all the way over to this side. No Prowlers home. Yarwood had that puck bounce over his stick. Final seconds ticking off of the penalty to Schultz. And finally, Yarwood just lifts it out to center. And we're back to full strength. Good diving play there at the line by Bussell to make sure that puck got deep. 7:38 to go in the second period. Binghamton still with a 1-0 lead. Heading. Dangerous pass to Hainsel. It was in his skates too. But Prowlers able to get through. Scantlebury a quick shot. Saved by, or missed wide. And that puck chopped out of play. And we'll have a face-off staying in Binghamton territory. Foley and Bussell to take it. Yarwood thought he was being taken off the ice, but instead he'll stay out. Vartiainen steps and shoots. That one in and out of Shepard's glove. Haynes will put it back in front. Prowlers still trying to put it on, but Shepard was able to make the save. Jurich into the zone. That one block comes to Yarwood, and Foley got a piece of his stick on the back check. 7 minutes to go, second period, as the Prowlers get it in. Buislard had some trouble with that bouncing puck. Scantlebury is poked around towards Foley. Williams down low in Scantlebury's direction. He overskated it. Able to get it back. Tucker Scantlebury power move. Couldn't get it to the front. Foley gloves it down behind the net. Scantlebury feeds in front. Foley, it was in his skates, pinballing around and behind the cage again. Scantlebury towards Williams, sneaking it from his defense point. And finally it's lifted back out all the way down. Icing waved off. Williams was dumped in front of the net after another chance he had at that puck, but unable to get his first goal in his first game as a Prowler. 6 minutes to go in the second period as it's dumped in by Abbott. Hofflin over to DeCumbus. He's harassed by Abbott. Vane DeCumbus just trying to get it out, can't do it. Thompson on the half wall. DeCumbus able to poke it out to center this time. And now with the Black Bears touching up, comes over to Abbott in a low backhand save, rebound, and Thompson couldn't get a piece of that one. That long shot came in. The rebound poked wide by Thompson. Put on net, deflected off of Parsons. Didn't get all the way there. And that pass to Devaney out of his reach. And icing called against Port Huron with 5:19 to go in the second period. Shots on goal 20-19 in favor of the Prowlers up to this point. Still a 1-0 game for Binghamton. Ivashkin caught a stick up high from Williams, and Sam Williams heads to the box. Binghamton heading to its second power play, 1-for-1 on the man advantage. So far, they're gesturing for 2 minutes on the high sticking call. The Prowlers PK goes to work, trying to keep this a 1-goal game. Williams had 55 penalty minutes in 37 games with Huntsville and Birmingham in the SPHL last season. As Graham out there with Jay. Here comes the Dalton Jay, makes a move around Buislard, still has Schultz to beat, and good play there by Jake Schultz. to get a skate on that puck. Buislard the other way. Clock still hasn't started yet here at McMorran Place. Schultz up towards Ivashkin's. Clock still not started, and finally they get it going. But the Black Bears getting a little bit of extra power play time. Federley tried the clap bomb all the way down. It was blocked at center. Schultz regroups at his own end. Up to Thompson. Thompson steps, shoots, and Hoffland may have gotten a piece of that one as it went by. DeCumbis first on that loose puck. Vinny DeCumbis on the backhand. Hit the outside of the net. And now DeCumbis all the way back into his own territory. Hansel rims it this side towards Federley. And Austin Federley, high flip out to center. Foley gloved it down, but it comes to Kirkby. He's hassled by Foley. Gets it up to Purcell. 3-on-2 for the Black Bears. Comes over to Jurich. Just hopped over his stick. Minute 7 right now on the clock on the man advantage for Binghamton. Yarwood comes down low, an in-tight shot from Lewis, stopped by Hofflin. Yarwood again, walking down the circle, hit the post. The outside of the post. Black Bears still threatening. Kirkby to Jurich, gets inside positioning. That one off the back glass, and Hofflin out of his crease to play it. Goes off of Kirkby's stick at the point. Here's Foley, all by himself, takes the shot, and Shepard easily steers that one aside. Black Bears trying to get a jump the other way as the Prowlers were making a change, but instead it's sent all the way back down. Merritt chasing down Shepard. Lewis off the boards and out. Scantleberry trying to turn the corner. He's all by himself against 4 Black Bears. Tucker Scantleberry will go for a tour of the Black Bears zone. Comes back out to center and dumps it in. Prowlers about to take care of this 2+ minute man advantage for Binghamton. Not sure exactly how much time the Black Bears got on that power play with how long the clock didn't start after the opening face-off of the man advantage, but either way, Prowlers able to kill it off. D'Angelo challenging Hofflin for the puck. Parsons puts a hit on D'Angelo. Puck comes over to the near side. Abbott taken in by Henning. Puck comes down low again to Dustin Henning. And now Jay through center. Gets into the zone, taken off his stick by Merkel. And Hanna all the way up. Pops out to the middle of the ice. Abbott couldn't get complete control of it, and now Hanna cross corner dump. Parsons knocked it down. 2:26 to go in the second period. Black Bears trying to keep the pressure on. Parsons off the glass and out of play. And they will confirm that it's off the glass. So no penalty coming to Brian Parsons. We'll be right back. 1-0 our score from Port Huron. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Back here in Port Huron, 2:21 to go. Second period, the Binghamton Black Bears up on the Prowlers by a score of 1-0. Cam Yarwood's second period power play goal is the only one so far. Faceoff comes to Freeborn. He springs with Jay. Give and go back to Freeborn. He'll curl away from pressure. Jay to the point heading. Just trying to keep it in the zone. Hansel with a good poke to keep it deep. Here's Freeborn. Looking for Graham behind the net. That was cut off. And now Honda the other way. High all the way down, and icing called. It looked like Ivashkin got there first, but icing was called by the linesman. So face-off will come all the way back into Binghamton territory. Black Bears leading right now in shots 21-20 with 1:54 to go in the second. Thompson and Graham set to draw to Shepard's left. Graham wins it back towards Federley. Freeborn cut it off. Tried to feed Jay going to the slot. Said here's Johnson, wrist shot, goes off the backboards. Jay had that one bounce off his stick. Bouncing pucks all night so far, and it's been tough for both sides. 3-on-2 for the Prowlers. Comes to Freeborn, drops to the trailer Johnson, and a save made by Shepard. The rebound, poked in front, puck loose there at the side of the net. Johnson over to Federley, the one-timer, he fanned on it, and Merkel touches up. A delayed penalty was coming against the Black Bears. It's a cross-checking call, and the Prowlers will head to their third power play, although they can't believe they didn't score on that chance. Brett Parker on the back check is the one who picks up the penalty. So with 1:20 to go in the second, the Prowlers head to their third power play, 0 for 2 so far on the man advantage. Looks like the referee telling both benches to settle down. That's Paul Jean, the referee, giving the benches a little bit of a warning with all that chirping going on down there. So the Black Bears clear to start the man advantage. Here's Federley. Moving up ice, drops it off to Devaney. Devaney in off Schultz's stick. Fitzgerald up the boards, only gets as far as Scantlebury. Now Tucker Scantlebury stops in the circle. Prowlers set up, 50 seconds on the clock. Comes down to Devaney. Down low, Foley looking for Vartiana in the back door, pinballed around. And Shepard able to make the save. That net is not on its moorings, and now they'll blow it dead with 34.9 on the game clock, 1:14 on the penalty clock. And the faceoff will stay inside of the Black Bears' end. So that's a very fortunate moment there for the Prowlers, as it looked like Binghamton was going to get a clear and maybe even a rush the other way, but faceoff stays in the zone with 34.9 seconds left in the period. One back by the Black Bears to Schultz. He only gets as far as Freeborn at the line. Fitzgerald cut off that dump attempt, and it comes all the way to Hofflin. Johnson behind his own cage with 20. Up to Merritt on the left wing side. Sam Merritt has to hurry. He'll throw a cross corner dump. Schultz winds up and sends it all the way back down. Final 10 seconds ticking off the clock in this second period. Fitzgerald cut it off at center. Fitzgerald in, dangles around, and a save. No, they score. Colin Fitzgerald cut off the long feed at center ice. He dangled around Alex Johnson and beat Wyatt Hofflin. It's a shorthanded goal for Binghamton, their league-leading 6th of the year. And with 0.9 seconds left on the clock, it's a 2-0 Binghamton lead. And it looks like the Black Bears getting an extra penalty here. Maybe a little taunting call or something along those lines. MJ Merkel has headed to the sin bin. So now it's a 5-on-3 for the Prowlers, which they'll have to start in the third period. They'll have 39 seconds on it when the third period begins. But a back-breaking goal from the Binghamton Black Bears at the end of that second period makes it a 2-0 game for the visitors. Shots on goal in that second period, 8-7 in favor of the Black Bears. Right now, 22-20 overall for the game in favor of Binghamton. I'm sorry, in the period, it was 11-7. Binghamton in the period, 22-20 in the game. Now for the Black Bears. So we get set for the second intermission here from McMorran Place as the Prowlers and the Black Bears head to the locker room for the second time tonight. And secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game. They'll take on these Binghamton Black Bears tomorrow, with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 6:05 p.m. It's also a Casey's Kids Zone night, and fans get to skate with the team after the game. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets or by calling the box office at 810-985-6166. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets or by phone at 810-985-6166. Through two here at McMorran, it's 2-0 Black Bears. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Back here at McMorran Place, just getting set for the third period between the Prowlers and the Binghamton Black Bears. Will Wiggleman here with you. Thanks so much for joining me on this Friday night. Well, it's been a good game between these two sides. Prowlers and the Black Bears both with a number of good scoring opportunities. Binghamton making good on two of theirs. They hold a 2-0 lead. Let's give you a quick look around the FPHL right now. Motor City Rockers have opened up a 4-2 lead on the Delaware Thunder late in the second period. The Watertown Wolves holding a 2-1 lead on Carolina. That one midway through the middle frame. Elmira surging for win number 2 in their franchise and their second in a row. They have a 2-0 lead on the league-leading Danbury Hat Tricks. That one in the second period. And finally, Columbus, a 1-0 lead on Mississippi late in the first. Shots on goal in that second period between these two teams here at McMorran. 11 for Binghamton, 8 for the Prowlers. And the Black Bears hold the shots advantage through two periods, 22-21. Colin Fitzgerald with the only, and Cam Yarwood both scored in that middle frame. Yarwood an early power play goal with 4:15 into the period, and then Fitzgerald with a shorthanded goal with under a second left. He stole a puck at center ice, dangled around Alex Johnson, and it's the second goal in this season that the Prowlers have given up with a second or less on the clock. You remember the other one was last Friday, a week ago today, in Columbus. And that was the 5th goal of that first period, and that was the last shot that Wyatt Hoffland faced in that game. But he is back in net for the Prowlers to start this third period. We are underway in the final 20 minutes of play from McMorran Place. Prowlers still on a 5-on-3 for the next 30 seconds after a penalty coming to MJ Merkel for unsportsmanlike conduct after that goal was scored at the end of the second. Federally crossed. Vartiainen thought about the one-timer, couldn't tee it up. Here's Federley at the top. Over to Vartiainen, one-time shot. Schultz got down to block it, and he clears, and that will take care of the first penalty. Federley into the zone. It's now 5-on-4. It gets to Foley. Foley put it on, but missed the net. That caroms all the way back out to center. Devaney, fresh off the bench, curls up ice. Minute into the third period and a minute into this Prowlers power play. And Port Huron is off sides at the Black Bear line. Prowlers complete the change. They have the Graham unit on now for the final 59 seconds of this man advantage. Comes into the Black Bear zone. Graham and Parker battling for it, and Brett Parker able to take it and dump it down. Comes up to Freeborn. He's taken down by Parker, and Brett Parker will head to the penalty box. Very frustrated with that call, but he did get the stick in the feet of Liam Freeborn, so the Prowlers will be back to 5-on-3 with 40 seconds left on the penalty to Merkel. Prime opportunity for the Prowlers to at least dig into this Black Bears lead. We'll see if they can take advantage. Foley unit back out there for Port Huron. Bussell, Schultz, and Buislard, the 3 killers for the Black Bears. Schultz the one who got it down immediately off the draw. Federley quickly back in. He's on the wall. Johnson's at the top. Those two trade places. Foley. Look across towards Vartiainen. That went off the stick of Kirkby. Federley. Wrist shot, save, they score! It leaks through Shepard. It's a power play goal for the Prowlers. They're on the board. Prowlers will still have a minute 29 of power play time as Austin Federley, with his second goal of the season, able to get it through Joseph Shepard and break the shutout bid for the Black Bears netminder. Some life for the Prowlers and the fans here at McMorran Place. All 1,490 of them taking in this game. And it looks like they took the wrong penalty off the board, off the big board. That's what the delay is. But yes, 1,490 fans taking in this game from McMorran Place. Thank you to all of you who are taking it in at home tonight. They'll try the face-off again. Once again, a minute 29 left on the Prowlers power play. It's a 5-on-4, as that Federley goal was a 5-on-3 goal. Schultz gets it only as far as Johnson at the Prowlers line. Goes across to Jay, but Graham was too quickly into the zone. And Prowlers offsides. A couple of extra seconds may have ticked off the clock here on the big board. It says a minute 11 left on the man advantage. Poked further, and here's Graham. Drops to Freeborn, the trailer. Wrist shot, save, rebound. It's still there, Freeborn. Oh, what a save by Shepard, sliding across. Graham behind the cage to Freeborn. Down low, Graham feeds it into the slot, but it comes straight to the Black Bears. They get it down. Hofflin, long pass up to Jay. Black Bears in the midst of a change. Dalton Jay into the zone, drops to Freeborn. And his shot eaten up by the stick of Fitzgerald and goes out of play. 38 seconds left on the man advantage. 17-17 to go in the third period. Prowlers once down 2, now only down 1. It's a 2-1 game. Face-off still there at the dot. Finally it comes to Vartiainen. Down low, Foley. Let's go Prowlers chance starting here at McMorran Place is Devaney. Holds, final 15 of the power play ticking off. That pass went through Joe Devaney. Yarwood chops at it. Devaney able to keep it in front of him. Abbott forces it to the point. Federley curls away. One-time chance for Scantlebury, and Shepard with the pad save. Foley looking for Scantlebury in front, but it's Fitzgerald who blocked that pass. And finally, it's backhanded all the way down on net. So no icing there. Black Bears able to make a full change. Prowlers looking to do the same thing. Federley moving up ice. We're nearly 4 minutes into the third period. Austin Federley has the last goal. He made it a 2-1 game. Black Bears are on the rush. Here's Kirkby. Drags and passes and score. That's Jurich at the side of the net. So the Black Bears get it right back. They make it 3-1 with 16:01 to go in the third. So just as the Prowlers were trying to get their 2 defensemen back on the ice, trying to get the lines back together after the power play, the Black Bears take advantage at center, and a good play by Tyson Kirkby to get it over to Tyler Jurich for Jurich's 9th goal of the season and his 2nd point tonight. Hansel first on the puck, reverses towards Jay, so the Prowlers back to that 2-goal hill that they have to climb. Jay knocked down by Hada. Here's Kirkby in, trying to find Jurich again, that time passed too far ahead of him. Graham trying to poke it back out to center. Now Graham at the red line, went off of Freeborn. Hansel backhands it in, taken in by Hada. The two Czech defensemen coming together on the sideboards over there. Merkel reverses back, and Kirkby standing behind his own net. Both teams completing changes. Kirkby will head off the ice after he dropped off for Merkel. Schultz with speed, up the left wing side, gets it deep. Williams up the boards. Say comes back to Schultz at the point. Puck sits there in the slot. Foley able to rescue it. Now Prowlers have numbers the other way. Scantlebury steps by his man. Foley on the puck. Through Vartiainen to the point to Parsons. Now Buislard. One touched on. Thompson is a 2-on-1. Thompson in front. And that one just out of Parker's reach. Boy, Thompson had to go all the way around a sliding Brian Parsons, able to get the puck in front, but Parker couldn't tap it home. Buislard. Schultz had it cut off by Parsons at center. Brian Parsons gets it deep, continues to work on the forecheck, knocked down. Now Devaney in front, comes towards Scantlebury, is knocked away by Parker. Parker looking to go the other way. His pass too far ahead of Ivashkin. And Nikita Ivashkin heads off the ice. Meanwhile, Merritt didn't get the red line, so that dump is an icing with 13:40 to go in the third period. Prowlers will have to face a defensive zone draw. And they'll have Sam Merritt to take it against Mac Lewis. Lewis out of SUNY Oswego. And we'll have that face-off for you when we return. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Back here in Port Huron, the Black Bears with a 3-1 lead over the Prowlers. Will Wiggleman here with you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube page. Tyler Jurich with the answer for the Black Bears after Austin Federley got the Prowlers within one, just a minute 51 into this third period on the power play. It only took 2:08 later for Jurich to extend the lead back to 2 on a pass from Tyler Kirkby. Played up towards Thompson off his stick. He battles with Johnson. That's D'Angelo, excuse me, battling with Alex Johnson. Puck comes back to Johnson, and now Federley thought about the right wing pass, instead goes to his left to Merritt. Federley to Johnson, almost picked off by Abbott. This time poked ahead by D'Angelo, has a step on Federley. Austin Federley trying to muscle him off. The wraparound attempt by D'Angelo nowhere close to going all the way around. Puck ends up in Black Bear ice under 13 minutes to go in the third period. Yarwood, cross, quick shot, high off the glass. That came off of Kirkby's stick. Now Freeborn trying to go the other way. Freeborn, power move, and he just poked it wide. Jurich out to center. Bussell tried to get it back that way. Black Bears are offside. Long pass from Henning. Eludes Jay, but Dalton Jay trying to take it from Miracle. Graham comes in to scoop up the loose puck. Binghamton gets it back to center. 12-11 to go in the third. Hainsel on the regroup. Looking for Jay. That hit Hada in the shin pads. Now Parker and Henning come together in that corner on the far side. Jay trying to tap it past Hada at the point. Finally comes to Freeborn. He gives to Henning. Couldn't control it. Thompson off the turnover. And Ivashkin had that puck elude him. Here's Nikita Ivashkin. Sent back deep. And now here comes Ivashkin in front. Thompson, big save by Hofflin. Thompson just trying to keep it in at the line. Graham poked it in Jay's direction, but he could only get a piece of that one. And now Dalton Jay will head off the ice with the rest of his line. Foley able to get it out. Schultz trying to bring it right back in. He does, but offsides is the call. With 10:59 to go in the third period, Prowlers trailing by a pair. Foley and Lewis set to draw in the neutral zone now. And it comes to Schultz. Near side, Buislar. Up in Scantleberry's direction, Buislar put it on net off of Williams. And now Schultz's drive stopped by Hofflin. Scantleberry trying to turn up ice, gets the puck out of the zone. Black Bears put it right back in. And now Buislard and Scantleberry getting into a shoving match in front of the benches. Meanwhile, Schultz with the puck gets it over to the most popular man on this shift in Buislard. That puck goes for an icing. And Bussell thought he got there first, but the linesmen disagree, and now it looks like they will give an oopsie my bad as the puck sits at center ice with 10-11 to go in the third period. And that is where they'll drop it, Bussell and Merritt to take it. Yarwood feeds it over. Here's Fitzgerald. Only got as far as Merritt. Comes near side to Alex Johnson. Lifts it high towards Yarwood. Just able to keep it away from Merritt. Toe drags around to Cumbus. Now Jurich gets over to Fitzgerald. Knocked down by Federley, but with a high stick. So whistles blow, and the faceoff will stay inside the Prowlers zone when we return. 9:45 to go in the third period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here at McMorran Place, 9:45 to go, third period. On the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube page, Will Wiggleman taking you through it. Black Bears holding a 3-1 lead over the Prowlers. Binghamton up on shots as well, 26-25. Johnson goes off the boards into Cumbus's direction. Fitzgerald with a good pinch to keep it. It looks like he played that with his hand, so a hand pass coming up against the Black Bears. Face-off will come out to center. Merritt wins the draw himself and gives to Johnson. Federle moves up ice. His pass knocked away by Jurich. Hofflin coming all the way out to play it ahead of Kirkby. Kirkby turns back into the zone. Tried to go down low to Bussell. Pass was behind him. Bussell first time comes towards the front of the net. And Hofflin with the glove on it. 9:14 to go in the third period. Prowlers still with some work to do, trailing by 2. Jay takes the puck off the draw, moves up with speed, but Haja got a stick on it. Miracle turns around in Haja's direction. Black Bears couldn't clear, now they do, just out. Henning puts it back in. Haja, headman feed up to Parker, off his stick, but now Brett Parker is into the zone. Pass off a stick behind Ivashkin. Graham one-hands it around his man. And Jay couldn't find that puck around Merkel. Shepard will cover up. 8:38 to go in the third. Now a few extra words between Dalton Jay and Brett Parker. Nothing further coming from that. This big 6'5", 235 Yuri Hajda trying to get in the middle of that. Hansel a drive from the point, blocked by Ivashkin. Graham tried to wrap it around. Hansel tried to put it on again. That went off of Ivashkin's stick and out of play. Now Graham and Merkel having words. Graham gave Merkel a shove. They're still having discussions. Now Hajda thought Graham got a piece of him. Now it's Hajda and Graham talking, and Graham being separated from the big check. The Prowlers check defenseman Adam Hansel watching Hajda head into the Black Bears bench. Not sure if he said anything, and if he did, not sure if it would have been in Czech or English, or maybe another one of a language. Hansel winds and fires. That one got on, and Shepard able to cover up. Graham quickly wrapped up by Schultz, the Black Bears captain. They officially announced the 1,490 fans here at McMorran Place to watch this one. And thank you to everyone who isn't here at McMorran Place, watching at home here on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel.
Let me hear you scream!
Off the boards, Williams kicks it in. It's moved up towards Thompson, tried to one-hand it in front to Abbott. Prowlers turn it the other way. Freeborn moving up the right wing side. And Freeborn to the net. Graham on the backhand. Shepard stretched to get the pad on it. Now Jay on goal. Shepard the save, and he'll hold on. Boy, Matt Graham, if you could just lift that puck, would have had a goal on Joseph Shepard. Shepard able to get the pad out and on it. And it looks like they're sending Schultz to the box here. A Prowlers power play coming up as Jake Schultz followed Matt Graham to the bench, barking at him all the way. And referee Paul Jean had had enough of that. He sends Schultz to the box and sends the Prowlers to their fourth power play of the game. They are 1 for 3 tonight. Austin Federle out there at right point. He's the one with the power play goal tonight for the Prowlers. 7:54 to go in the third period. 2-goal deficit for Port Huron. It's one back to Federle. Over to Vartiani, the one-timer. That one hit a couple of things on the way through and deflects out of play. Right into those brand new suites behind the goal to our left. The new East Side suites, you can reserve those for your group. Call the McMorran box office. Federle winds and fires. That was blocked. And goes all the way down into Prowler territory, 20 seconds into the man advantage. Federle drops it off for Devaney. Devaney rims it around. Gets through Fitzgerald. Still a battle for it. Scantlebury able to maintain control to Foley. Bounce past Devaney. Foley at the top, back to Joe Devaney. Federle again. Devaney across Vartiainen. Didn't get all of that one-timer. What a play by the three guys up top for the Prowlers on this power play, but Larry Vartiainen couldn't get all of that shot, and now it looks like somebody on the Prowlers is going to the penalty box. Fitzgerald took a couple of slashes on the way up. They get Larry Vartiainen, so it'll be 4-on-4 for the next minute and 1 second. With 6:55 to go in the third, that will take care of the rest of the Prowlers' man advantage. Slashing minor to Larry Vartiainen. It's 4-on-4. Face-off coming in the Prowlers' end. Bussell poked it forward. Federle got there ahead of him, though. Now it comes to DeCumbus. Vinny DeCumbus up ice, chips it deep. Bussell on the near side. Up to Ivashkin. 3 Prowlers back as Nikita Ivashkin tries a power move. He'll go around. Sent to the top to Merkel. Now Johnson starts up ice. 3-on-2 for the Prowlers. Johnson to Merritt, takes the shot. Kick save and a beauty from Shepard. Bussell into the zone. Drag around Williams, and Hofflin had to make a big save. Sam Williams trying to start a rush the other way now. Back and forth action in this 4-on-4. Merritt across to Jay. Wrist shot. He scores! Dalton Jay picks the corner. Prowlers within 1. It was up and down for the 4-on-4, and the Prowlers got one on Dalton Jay's 199th career FPHL goal. One away from being the 4th player in FPHL history to hit 200 tallies. It's his 7th of the year. So 8 seconds left in the 4-on-4. After that, the Black Bears will be on a 59-second power play. The Prowlers are only down by 1 now. Now Jake Schultz is being sent off. He did leave the penalty box after that goal. I'm not sure if he thought he was out because he forgot that Vartiainen was in the Prowlers box, but either way, Jake Schultz has been sent to the dressing room. But it looks like Bussell will head over to replace him into the penalty box. We'll see if an extra minor penalty comes from this. There are still only 4-on-4 for both sides. So nothing extra up on the penalty clock. So still 4-on-4 for the next 8 seconds. But Jake Schultz has been sent to the dressing room, so probably just a misconduct for him. Yarwood to Lewis. Black Bears back to full strength, so it's a power play for them. Yarwood in the corner. As the power play goal tonight for Binghamton. It's worked up top. Kirkby over to Yarwood, back to Kirkby. Jurich, wrist shot, eaten up by Hofflin. So Sam Williams picking up an assist in his first game as a Prowler. Sam Merritt the other one on Dalton Jay's 7th of the year. Jurich to Bissell. Now Lewis works it to Jurich at the point, back to Mac Lewis. They play catch, and now Bissell gets involved in the corner, works up the sidewall. Across the one-timer from Kirkby, whistles wide, and it just is kept in by the Black Bears. Wrist shot from Jurich from the slot. That goes over top of the net, so Lewis in front. Yarwood stopped by Hofflin. The rebound. Hofflin got that too. Jurich, he scores from a terrible angle. Tyler Jurich picks the corner from the goal line, and it's a 2-goal game again with 4:45 to go in the third. Boy, Wyatt Hofflin made a couple of big saves, and Tyler Jurich able to beat him from the goal line, putting that puck into a puck-sized hole, and the Prowlers are in a 2-goal hole. And now the Foley, Vartiainen, and Devaney line back together for the first time in this game. Prowlers need some offense. Jurich's second goal of the game, 10th of the season. As Federley moves up ice to Vartiainen. Jurich has a 3-point night now for Binghamton. Angel's shot blocked by Ivashkin, looking for Thompson on the headman pass. Instead comes to Federley. Cross to Devaney, looking for Vartiainen, going to the net too far in front. Devaney back to center. To Vartiainen. He wrists it into the zone. Merkel and Devaney get there together. Parker and Foley on the sideboards, and now Brett Parker out to center. Johnson gloves it down. He'll step in. Alex Johnson, a wrist shot. And it's blocked by Merkel. Down low to Scantlebury. Hajda holding him in. Scantlebury pulls it out of the pile. Hajda gets it as far as Johnson at the line. Poked back deeper, under 3.5 to go in the third period. Williams couldn't hold the line at the right wing boards. DeCumbus dancing his way through center. Hit by Merkel as Merkel was getting off the ice. It's a high sticking call coming to MJ Merkel, and now Ivashkin wants a piece of Alex Johnson near the Black Bears bench. And it takes both linesmen to separate them. 3:13 to go, third period, 4-2 Binghamton. Johnson being escorted away. He's being motioned to the penalty box. Looks like Ivashkin heading to the bench, but they'll make sure he goes over there as well. So Ivashkin and Johnson both heading to the penalty boxes. It was MJ Merkel who looked like he was getting the original penalty, I thought, when he put a hit on DeCumbus as he was heading to the bench. I thought his stick may have ridden up. I may be mistaken, because Ivashkin and Johnson are the two in the box. And we'll figure it all out over this timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
We do invite you to tune in to our next broadcast tomorrow when the Prowlers host the Binghamton Black Bears. Puck drop is scheduled for 6:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 5:50. It's all right here on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Lavashkin and Johnson still barking at each other in the penalty boxes. 2 minutes are up on the board, both on the Black Bears side. 5 Prowlers are heading to the face-off dot, and it looks like the power play unit that's centered by Evan Foley. So I think the Prowlers will be getting the man advantage here. Once this all shakes out. Looks like they're trying to get another Black Bear to the penalty box. I believe they're motioning for possibly a too many men. Somebody from Binghamton is heading over to the penalty box to join Nikita Ivashkin. And it will be MJ Merkel, it looks like, stepping over the boards. Is this about to be a 5-on-3? That's what we have out on the ice. 5 Prowlers, 3 Black Bears on the ice right now. I'm not sure how right that is. Because if I'm counting, you have the 2 Johnson and Ivashkin canceling out. They are still yelling at each other with fury in the penalty boxes. And then MJ Merkel is the extra one. Actually, he would be the first one that they called. And now Tyler Jurich is being directed to the sin bin. So now there are 3 Black Bears in there to 1 Prowler. So now penalty box players to on-ice manpower makes sense. We'll see if they can eventually get all this up on the clock. And we'll let you know as soon as they let us know what the penalties exactly are. We can tell you, though, that Jake Schultz getting sent off the ice a few minutes ago, that is a 10-minute abuse of officials misconduct. So Federley at the top, 5-on-3 for the Prowlers. Comes to Foley, back to Federley. Cross Vartiainen, the shot, and the one-time blast goes out of play off of Shepard. Exactly 3 minutes to go, third period, and the Prowlers with as good a chance as they could possibly get to tie this game. They have a 5-on-3 for the next minute 47. Foley and Kirkby set to draw. It's Kirkby, Bassell, and Buislard, the trio. Comes over to Foley, back to Federley. Wrist shot, save. Back to Foley. Cross Federley, one-timer, and Shepard got a piece of that one. Foley trying to settle down that puck. It was on edge. Comes to Vartiainen. Back to Federley. To Foley. Federley again. Comes down low. Devaney poking at it. It's loose in the crease. And finally they blow the whistle. Shepard down on his belly. And Scantlebury getting into it with Buislard. 2:26 to go in the third. Minute 13 left on the Prowlers' man advantage. It's Tucker Scantlebury's stick that was on the ice in the slot. That puck came down low to Devaney at the side of the net. He just couldn't jam it home as Joe Shepard got the pad there on the post. So it looks like they got high sticking and too many men on the ice. So Merkel gets the too many men on the ice, and Jurich serving, or Merkel gets the high stick, excuse me. Jurich serves the too many men on the ice. And then Ivashkin and Johnson in there together. Tecumseh across one-timer Freeborn. Kicked aside by Shepard. Freeborn keeps the pressure on for the Prowlers. Good poke by him. Tecumseh over to Jay. Winds and fires off a stick and out of play. That was Fitzgerald coming out to play Dalton Jay. 2:05 left, third period. Prowlers need a goal as soon as possible to make sure that they can get themselves in this game enough for Wyatt Hofflin to get off the ice and get the extra attacker. Although it's not unheard of to pull the goalie with a 2-goal deficit. Jay to Tecumseh at the top, back to Jay. Wrist shot, he scores! Goal number 200 in the FPHL career of Dalton Jay. It pulls the Prowlers within one. It's a 4-3 game. So the immediate news is that the Prowlers are back within one goal with 1:52 to go in the third and still 39 seconds left on the man advantage. But the overall news is that Dalton Jay has become the 4th player in FPHL history to hit 200 career goals. Prowlers looking to tie things up. Again, they're still on the power play for the next 39 seconds. Faceoff comes to the boards. Flipped up. Bussell trying to glove it down. Instead, here's Freeborn with control. Jay knocks it in. Now Graham as Hofflin's at the bench. It's a 6-on-4 for the Prowlers. Jay, wrist shot off the shoulder of Shepard. Comes up to Kirkby. He tries for the empty net, and he hits it. The 200-foot goal from Tyler Kirkby. Looks like it may seal this one, although still 1:21 to go in the third period. It's 5-3. So Tyler Kirkby just trying to clear that puck out, ends up hitting the empty cage, and he makes it a 2-goal lead once again for Binghamton. Federley coming through center into the zone. Vartiainen wrist shot, saved by Shepard. That one off Vartiainen, back to center as we approach the final minute of play in the third period. Barker had it in his skates. He tips it back. Puck comes in to Federley. In the Prowlers' end, now he moves up ice. 46 seconds on the clock, but out of the reach of Vartiainen, and Prowlers will have to curl back. Federley missed Devaney with that pass, so it's icing against Port Huron with 35.5 seconds to go in the third period. Faceoff coming in Prowlers territory. Bussell won it forward, but Port Huron first on it as Parsons pokes it further in Devaney's direction. Off the boards, couldn't get it out. Sherman kept it in just momentarily. Now Sherman whacks it back in, hit Parsons with it. 15 seconds left in the third. Vartiainen back out to center. Final seconds ticking off the clock here at McMorran Place as the Binghamton Black Bears defeat the Port Huron Prowlers by a score of 5-3 to open up their 2-game set in Port Huron. It was Tyler Jurich on the power play, the game-winning goal. That made it 4-2 with under 5 to play in the third. Dalton Jay brought the Prowlers within 1, but Tyler Kirkby hit the empty net to seal the deal. But for Dalton Jay, his 200th in the FPHL, a milestone only hit by 3 other FPHL players. Before we get into the postgame, I want to remind you again about our next broadcast tomorrow when these two teams clash again here at McMorran. Puck drop scheduled for 6:05 p.m. and the pregame show is at 5:50. It's all right here on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Let's also take a look around the FPHL. Every team in action tonight. We start in Delaware where the Motor City Rockers have scored 4 straight goals to take a 5-2 lead over the Delaware Thunder. That one early stages third period. Also early stages third period, the Carolina Thunderbirds and the Watertown Wolves knotted up at 3 goals apiece up in Watertown. Also in upstate New York, don't look now, folks, the Elmira Mammoth are shutting out the Danbury Hat-Tricks 3-0 through 2 periods of play right now in Elmira. Thomas Proudlock with 27 saves so far for the Mammoth. And finally, down at Mississippi Coast Coliseum, as time ticks down in the second period, the River Dragons have a 3-1 lead over the Sea Wolves. Well, tonight the Prowlers coming up short to the Binghamton Black Bears. Kept getting this game back within 1 goal, but just couldn't get that tying goal after Binghamton took a 2-0 lead into the third period. It was an entertaining final frame, but once again the Prowlers unable to get that tying goal here in the third period. So with that, the Prowlers drop their 3rd straight contest, and they fall below 500 for the first time this season at 5-6-2. For the Black Bears, they improved to 9-3-2, 28 points, now move into a tie, at least temporarily, with the Danbury Hat-Tricks atop the Empire Division. And if that score holds in Elmira, not only will the Mammoth pull off a tremendous upset and get their 2nd win in franchise history and 2nd in a row, the Black Bears will pull into a tie with those Hat-Tricks for 1st place in the Empire Division. These two teams will go back at it tomorrow night at 6:05 p.m. You can see it up there on the screen. It will also be here at McMorran at Casey's Kids Zone night and a Skate with the Players post-game. Well, as far as stats go between these two teams, Tyson Kirkby and Tyler Jurich led all skaters with 3 points apiece. Jurich 2 goals and assists, Kirkby a goal and 2 helpers, while Dalton Jay led the Prowlers with 2 goals of his own. Well, that's going to do it for me here from McMorran Place. Thank you so much for watching on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube page, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night.